Good morning. Oh my gosh, my voice. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well. So, today we are going into a hip mobility flow. There's going to be lots of options for everyone, no matter what level. So, if you do see an opportunity to spice up your practice or you want to take a break, go ahead and do it. This is your practice, and you can decorate it however you wish. Today I just have a belt and two blocks. You might not need the belt or two blocks, but it's always good to have them on your mat, like always. Anyway, go ahead, get on your mat, grab anything else that you need. We're actually going to start off in child's pose. So if you want to make child's pose a little bit more comfortable, you can grab some pillows or maybe a blanket to slip in between your thighs and your calves. That'll kind of give you a little bit of a boost, but also help you stay connected to your heels here. Um, so grab whatever else that you would like to use in your practice and then meet me on your mat. All right, you guys. So starting off in child's pose, I'm going to take my big toes to touch, knees come out wide, press my hips back towards my heels, and then take my arms out long. So we're going to make this an active child's pose this morning, and we're not going to be in here very long if you find child's pose that it isn't your favorite pose. So what we're doing here is we're going to press through our palms, sink our hips back towards our heels, and maybe allow our forehead to come down to the floor. Now, we don't really want to block under it today because we are moving kind of quickly. So, what I want you to try to do is try to rotate your armpits out towards the side and then allow your chest and head to come down closer to the floor. So, you're really trying to rotate the armpits up and out, maybe even up towards the sky, so that outer rotation, and then sink your chest down towards the earth. Forehead is coming down, chest is coming down, and you get that big frontal body opening here. So reaching forward, extending, maybe rotating those armpits out. If that doesn't feel good, just come back to your basic child's pose. We're going to begin by breathing here. So I want you to really try to send that breath into the backside body, into your sacrum. Maybe your chest lifts up off the earth on an inhale. And then on your exhale, press your palms into the earth and sink your hips back again towards your heels. So take a couple breaths on your own. You can inhale through your nose. Maybe that head, neck, and chest lift a bit. And then exhale out through your mouth. Press through your palms. Hips come back towards your heels. Take a few rounds of breath just like that. Waking up your body, coming into your practice. Maybe letting your mind wander a little bit. Likes to do that, especially when we just get started. And on your next inhale, let's go ahead and lift up, walk our hands over to the left side of our mat. Now we're breathing again down our right side body this time. So instead of sending your breath to your back, we're sending it all the way down this right side. And then again, same thing, turning those armpits up towards the sky, allowing your chest to melt down. Maybe forehead is touching the floor now. If not, that's fine. You can always come to that regular child's pose again here, bringing a block underneath your forehead. Coming back to your breath and maybe bringing that wandering mind back in. Begin to notice your surroundings, noticing the earth beneath you. Just listening to any little sounds or breeze or maybe the smell of morning coffee. Then on your next inhale, gently lift up, walk your hands back through center, and then over to the right. This time we're breathing down our left side body. So sending that breath all the way down into your left hip and up to your left pinky. Again, if you'd like to take that variation, armpits rotating out and up, chest sinking down towards the floor, forehead coming down to the mat. Taking big rounds of breath. And maybe this time, turning your observation inward and noticing the way the pose feels in your body, maybe taking a body scan, or just begin to notice your breath. How is it today? Is it deep? Is it shallow? Is it stuffy? When you're ready, we'll come back through center, press back into our child's pose. And we'll gently lift ourselves up. Sitting in hero's pose just for a moment, let's take our hands to heart center. Let's set an intention before we start our practice today. So pressing your right palm into your left, draw your shoulders back and down, bow your head towards your fingertips. You can set an intention, send some thanks, send some love. My theme for the next coming weeks is going to be effortlessness, trying to let go of outcomes of things, like a lot of us may need to do lately, letting go of the outcome and just enjoying what each pose or what each moment brings, and trying to find a little bit more appreciation for just little moments in life. When you're ready, let's gently come into our tabletop position. Let's bring our knees hip width distance, hands underneath our shoulders, and then you can take a little bit of movement here. Now I'm going to take a little bit of a different variation in my cat-cow, so if you want to stick with the traditional, you can, but I'm going to take this into also a little bit of a sole of the foot stretch. So I'm going to tuck my toes, sink my hips back towards my heels, walk my hands out far in front of me, so I'm letting them extend just like my child's pose. Pulling my belly button in and up, and I want to keep my heels reaching towards my bum, so I don't really want them splaying out to the side. I want everything hugged in. On an inhale, I'm going to lift my chest like a little baby cobra, just gazing out in front of me. And then on the exhale, I'm going to round my spine, pulling the belly button in and up, chin tucks to chest. So it's a little bit awkward at first. If you need to walk your hands in, you can. Or you can make your way to the traditional one. Whatever you would like this morning. Take a couple rounds wherever you are. Again, inhale will bring you to cow. Belly drops, gaze lifts, hips lift. And then an exhale will pull you to cat. Rounding the spine, pulling the belly button in and up. Chin tucks in, tailbone tucks under. You can take any organic movement if you'd like, if you are in the traditional set. If not, just stick here with me. Maybe slowing down your movement, maybe sinking your hips back closer to your heels, getting a deeper stretch down your feet. And when you're ready, we're all going to shift forward, coming into our tabletop position. If you had your toes tucked, go ahead, tap the tops of your feet out on your mat. And when you're ready, let's tuck our toes, make our way into our first downward facing dog. Walk your hands out one palm's length from where they were. Take a deep inhale here, and then exhale, press your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Go ahead, walk out your dog here, shift your hips from side to side. You can shake your head yes, you can shake your head no. If you'd like, you can pivot on your feet, rocking your hips from side to side, whatever you need today. Down dog isn't your thing today. You can always come down into that tabletop or even extended puppy pose here. And then if you haven't already, you can begin to cultivate that ujjayi breath. So inhaling and exhaling out through your nose, making that whisper noise or like ha sound on every inhale and every exhale. Really trying to channel that breath down into your belly, letting your diaphragm completely expand. And then on the exhales, pulling that belly button in towards the midline and the spine, compressing all the air out. When you're ready, let's all inhale, come high up onto our toes. Exhale, bend your knees, step, walk, or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly roll all the way up to standing. Take a soft bend in your knees. Head is the last thing to come up. Let's inhale, reach those arms towards the sky. And then exhale, swing them back. Inhale, reaches them up. Exhale, bring them back. You can take big movement if this doesn't feel good this morning. You can always take smaller movement, maybe just some shoulder circles here. But an inhale will all bring us up together, and an exhale will pull you down. So really placing your hands in space rather than just flinging them around. Maybe when you drop your hands back, you try to lift your chest towards the sky. Let's bring that chin up onto the horizon, maybe gaze up towards the sky. Switch directions. So inhale, they reach back and up, chest opens. And then exhale, they come forward and down. Again, keeping that chin lifted here. Gaze is lifted towards the sky or the ceiling. We are always looking down. So when was the last time you looked up? When was the last time you looked at the sky? We always have our phones in our hands or our hands on the keyboard. All right, let's all inhale, come back through center, reach your arms up towards the sky, draw your shoulders back down into your shoulder sockets. Inhale, lift and reach up out of your hips. Exhale, forward fold, hinge from your hips, lead with your heart. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold, plant your hands, step back to a higher low plank. I'm coming into a low plank this morning, coming all the way down to my belly. Heels of my hands slide back, elbows pull in. Inhale, lift up, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale will bring you down. Inhale will press you through a tabletop. And an exhale will pull you back, downward facing dog. So you can always skip the vinyasa or modify it to whatever you would like. So we're going to take that one or two more times. So when you're ready, let's inhale, come high up onto our toes. Exhale, bend your knees, step, walk, or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly roll all the way up to standing. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come to our low back. Inhale, lift through your chest. Exhale, press your hips forward. Come back. Maybe your head drops back. Or you can keep your chin slightly tucked. Again, lift up out of your hips. Really press through your feet. And try to reach your chest towards the sky as if someone's pulling you up by a little string. Inhale will bring you back to center. Arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold, plant your hands, step or hop back, higher low plank. Lower all the way down or halfway. Inhale will sweep you up to an upward facing dog. And an exhale will pull you back, downward facing dog. Beautiful work. Again, shifting your hips from side to side, walking out your feet here in your down dog. Let's take one last one. Let's inhale, come high up onto our toes. Exhale, bend your knees, step, walk, or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll all the way up to standing, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Lead with your heart, hinge from the hips, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step back. Higher low plank. And then an upward facing dog or a low cobra. We'll all meet in a downward facing dog. And then gently walk our feet to the top of our mat to meet our hands. Grab your strap if you have it. We'll gently roll all the way up. Let's take our feet wider than hip width distance here. You can even turn your toes out a little bit today. Take a soft bend in your knees. I'm going to take my strap here, or you can interlace all 10 fingers behind your back. Inhale, shoulders to your ears. Exhale, reach your knuckles down towards the floor. Inhale, lift through your chest, pull the low belly in, and then exhale, begin to hinge forward. Knuckles send up over our head here. And breathe, relaxing through our shoulders. Begin to roll the weight to the balls of your feet. If you want to take a little bit of movement here, maybe you shift your hips from side to side, straightening one leg and bending the other. Shift your gaze directly in between your legs, looking back down at the end of your mat, or maybe beyond it. Breathe here, keep your eyes open. Maybe you find some stillness. Roll the weight to the balls of the feet. Relax the shoulders a little bit more, knuckles coming up over your head. Beautiful. Gently take those hands to your lower back. We're going to take a deep bend through our knees as we slowly roll one vertebra by one vertebra all the way up. Release your strap here. You can leave it by your mat. Take our feet together, hip width distance. And we'll all inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, sink into your chair. Hands can come through heart center. Inhale, lift through your chest. Exhale, sink low. You can begin to lift one heel and then the other. Wherever you are, we want to make sure that this tailbone is tucked under and low belly is pulling in as best we can, and our chest is lifting. Again, still warming up our ankles here, lifting one at a time. Can you sink lower? Maybe a little bit lower. We'll all come back through stillness. And if you'd like, you can stay here, or you can lift one heel and maybe the other. Hug them in, really squeeze the outer ankles in. We're trying to keep them squared so they're not splaying out to the in or outside. Sometimes they do when we're trying to correct and lift up. So let's lift up out of our hips. Keep the heels high if you're with me, and gently lower down. Woo, legs are on fire. Breathe. Inhale, we'll all reach up on our tippy toes still. Hands reach up overhead. When you're ready, exhale, slowly lower down. Hands and heels come down at the same time. Beautiful. All right, again, inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, sink into your chair. This time, hands come to our hips. Take your weight into your your left foot, and then step this right foot back to the end of your mat. Spin the back heel down. All 10 toes are turning to face towards the right side of our mat. Now we're coming into our goddess pose. So let's turn our toes out towards the corner. Heels are coming in. And then we're going to bend through our knees. So we don't need a super wide stance here. If you need to shorten it or lengthen it, you can. Try to keep my heels right underneath my knees. But of course, you can shift from side to side, bringing that knee past your ankle. I know a lot of times we hear that our knees should not go past our ankles, but in the natural waves of life, a lot of times our knees do go past our ankles, especially when we're walking. So when we're saying, like in a warrior 1 or a warrior 2, keep your knees stacked over your ankle, that's just a good starting point to find stability in your pose. And then when you found that pose or when you found your stability and you created that muscle memory, then we can start playing with a little bit of movement, maybe bringing that knee past, working on that range of motion. So that's just a little fun fact of the day. So if you'd like, you can bring your hands to your inner thighs, and then let's stay here. Find a little bit of stillness. Sink through your hip, lift through your chest. Let's interlace all 10 fingers together. Inhale, lift our arms up above our head, then bring those hands right behind our head, maybe thumbs running down the nape of our neck. Again, lifting our chin towards the sky, and we're just going to gently hinge towards our right, so right elbow working towards that right knee, lifting up out of the hips, but still sinking low. So we lengthen through our spine rather than just crunching into this right side body. Inhale will bring you through center. Exhale over to the left. Again, still long and lengthening in our spine. Inhale through center. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale through center. Exhale. Whew, over to the left. And then if you'd like, we can take this into a little bit of a circle. So hinging forward. Inhale will lift you up, opening up that chest. Exhale, right elbow to right knee. Left elbow comes down as we gaze towards the floor, coming through center. Inhale, right elbow reaches towards the sky. And then exhale over to the right side. Last one on this side. Hips still sinking low. And then we'll switch directions. Left elbow to left knee. Right elbow's coming down, facing towards the floor, moving very slowly. Keep your elbows and chest open. Flowing with your own breath. Trying not to put pressure on the back of your head. Weight is light here. Sink low through your hips. I know legs might be on fire here. Last round on the left side. Beautiful. We'll all come back through center. Arms open up wide. Now let's turn our left toes towards the front of the mat. Straighten out this back leg. Turn the right toes in. And maybe walk the heel back a little bit. We're working our way into warrior two. So if you need to widen your stance here, you can. Front knee is bent, arms open up onto the horizon. Inhale, shoulders to our ears. Exhale, rolling back and down our back. Let's inhale, glide forward, flip your palm. Exhale, reverse your warrior. If that front leg wants a break, straighten it out. Keeping a micro bend in your knee. These left fingertips are reaching up. Maybe we rotate a little bit, rotating these lower right ribs open and up. You can cactus open your arm, opening up this left shoulder. Keeping our elbow as best we can at shoulder height. Gaze comes towards the sky. Re-extend this left arm back behind us. Bend through your your left knee if it was straight. Hands come back out onto the horizon. Inhale, arms reach up, palms touch overhead. Exhale, cartwheel your hands. So just for a moment, let's turn our right toes forward. Heel toe your left foot out towards the edge of your mat. Step that right foot in just a bit, and then turn that heel down so my toes are facing towards the right on my right foot. I'm walking my hands over to the right corner of my mat here. Inhale, lifting through my chest, and then exhale, pressing my hips back. Deep hip opener here. So both my feet are rooted onto the earth. Left toes are facing forward. Right toes are facing towards the right edge of my mat. Trying to find a little bit of a stretch here. Maybe a deep stretch. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Maybe walk your hands in a little bit if you'd like. And then really try to draw your hips back. Press your hips back towards the left edge of your mat. Reaching and extending. Maybe those armpits twist up towards the sky again. Chest is reaching towards the floor. Hands can always be on a block here as well to keep you lifted, or two blocks even. Breathe and connect. And then when you're ready, turning up onto our heel of our back foot again, right toes turn forward. So we're in this high lunge almost, but our hands are on the inside of our left foot. Heel toe this left foot to midline, and then step it back, three-legged dog. Left leg reaches up towards the sky, bend your knee, open up your hip. Go ahead, take a few knee circles here. Switch directions. And then option to come down into a downward facing dog. Or you can extend this your left leg, bend your knee, take it into a wild thing. All 10 toes facing towards the back. Left fingertips are reaching out in front of us. Breathe. When you're ready to come back over, take a deep inhale. Exhale, soften through your knees. Send this left leg up towards the sky. And then we'll all take a vinyasa. Or you can press back into a downward facing dog. It's your choice. We'll all meet in a downward facing dog. I couldn't quite decide if I wanted to take a upward facing dog or a low cobra on that one. All right, so when you're ready, let's take one breath together. Exhale wherever you're at. Take a deep inhale through your nose. And then exhale out through your mouth. Beautiful. Inhale, come high up onto your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, step walker, hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll all the way up to standing. Arms reach up. Exhale, hands come through heart center. Same thing. Working our way into that chair pose with our heels lifted. So again, if you just want to work one heel at a time, you can. Thinking low, building up that strength. Or when you're ready, let's lift one heel and then the other. Find your balance. Coming as high as you can, tailbone tucking under, belly pulling in, and then sink low. Trying to keep everything squared and hip width distance. Gets a little bit difficult. Lift through your chest, lift through your gaze, keep the heels lifted, sink a little bit lower. And when you're ready, let's all inhale, lift up. Heels are still high. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, slowly lower down. Heels and hands come down at the same time. Beautiful. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sink back into your chair. Hands come through onto our hips. Take your weight into your right foot. Come up onto the ball of your left. Take a big giant step backwards. This time, all 10 toes are facing towards the left edge of our mat. I'm going to turn around here. And again, coming right back into our goddess. Sorry if I'm breathing heavily. Season's changing. And so developing a little bit of a cold. All right. So toes are out towards the corners. Heels are turning in. Sinking low through our goddess again here. You can shift from side to side. Breathing. And if you'd like, you can stick with this. Or if you want a little bit more of engagement through here, you can take your arms out wide. Relax down through your shoulders, maybe soften through your elbows. Palms are facing forward. Now we're just going to pulse very slowly to begin. Maybe pulling the feet in just a little bit. Inhale will lift you up, and an exhale will take you down. So we're really trying to draw everything in and up. Lace the low ribs down, so we're not creating a deep arch in our low back. Shoulders are right over our hips. Breathing. Keeping everything in. If you want to keep one hand on your belly, one hand on your back, you can. Our thighs should be on fire. At least mine are. Hands can come back out. Maybe speed up the pace. Maybe make the motion a little bit shorter. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Inhale, reach up. Beautiful. To give those legs a rest. Hands come down by our side. And then again, we want to turn these right toes forward. Turn your left toes in. I usually do it on the opposite side, so I'm screwing myself up today. So right toes are forward, left toes are turning in, coming into our warrior two. Arms on the horizon, inhale, shoulders to your ears. Exhale, rolling back and down your back. Breathe. Draw your shoulders right over your hips just for a moment. Sink your hips a little bit lower. And inhale, glide forward, flip your palm. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Option to give that leg a break. Keep a micro bend in your knee. And then if you'd like that same chest opener, draw your left lower ribs forward and up. Shift your gaze towards the sky, and then maybe cactus open this right arm. Chest is lifting, trying to keep that elbow at shoulder height. Breathe wherever you are. Maybe keep those that left hand on your lower ribs, rotating as you gaze forward. Inhale, reach those right fingertips back, bend through your right knee. Hands come back onto the horizon, warrior two. Inhale, reach up, palms touch. Exhale, cart with your hands down. So just turn on your back left toe so all 10 toes are facing forward just for a moment. Scoot this left foot in, back heel spins down again. Heel toe your right foot out towards the right edge of your mat. And then our fingertips are going to be reaching towards the left this time. So both heels are on the earth. Left toes are facing towards the left edge of your mat. Right toes are facing towards the top. Hands are reaching towards the left. Hips are reaching back behind you. Taking a bend through your right knee. Deep crease in that front hip here and in between your thigh. Option for hands to come to a block. We make our way into the steep hip opener here. We'll all breathe. And if your hands are on the earth, you want a deeper stretch, try to turn those armpits up towards the sky as you sink your chest down towards the floor. Really draw the shoulder blades in as you press your hips back. Still micro bend through your back, left leg, and breathe. All right. Gently making your way back through center. Pivot on your back foot, all 10 toes facing forward. Heel toe this right foot in towards your midline. When you're ready, sweep this right leg back towards the sky. Three-legged dog, bend your knee, open up your hip. Take a few knee circles here. Switch directions. And then option to come back down into a downward facing dog. Or you can take a wild thing with me. Right toes to the left edge. Right fingertips reach out and up. All 10 toes are facing towards the back of the room. And again, lifting through your hips. Breathe and reach. When you're ready to come back over, take a deep inhale, soften through your knees, step back over. Right leg reaches up towards the sky. And then gently down towards the earth. Option to take a vinyasa, or you can press back into a downward facing dog. It's your choice. We'll all meet in a downward facing dog. Beautiful work. If you want to take a child's pose or a drink of water, you can. Take one big breath together. If you're still with me in downward facing dog, exhale wherever you are. Take an inhale through your nose, belly breath. And then exhale, H-A-Ha. Beautiful. All right, so let's inhale, left leg comes high. Exhale, step it through right next to your left thumb. Take your right knee towards the earth. Inhale, lift up, low lunge. Exhale, hands come through heart center. So readjust your stance if you need to. We're going to take this into a twist. So inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, right hand can come to the block or a floor. Left fingertips reach towards the sky. So we really like to reach back behind us sometimes and open up our chest. So let's actually try to pull these, again, right ribs towards the left side. Open up our chest. Maybe take your hand to the outside of your left knee and gaze up towards the sky. And then, if you'd like, reach those fingertips straight up towards the sky. Draw your shoulders back and down. Try to keep that hand coming forward rather than flinging back behind you. If you'd like, you can tuck these back toes, lift the back right knee up off the earth. All 10 toes spin towards the left edge of our mat. Left fingertips reach back behind us, dropping this right hip down towards the earth. Relax through your shoulders. And we'll inhale, come back, low lunge. And then heel toe your left foot towards midline. Still on, if you were in that high lunge with me, that's great. If you're in the low lunge, lift the back knee up off the earth. So now we're in this high runner's lunge look. Spin your back right heel down. Now all 10 toes are going to face towards the right edge of your mat. You can lift up onto the ball of your left foot as you sink your hips over to the left. Pick up your right toes off the mat. Now keep a micro bend in this right knee. Hands can come to a block to keep you lifted if you're not feeling a little bit stable here. But again, the challenge here, now this right or left heel does not have to be on the earth today. I am so dyslexic, guys, sorry. This left heel does not have to be on the earth. You can be on the ball of your foot. Right toes are flexed back towards our face. Still micro bend in our knee. I know this is not the most comfortable pose ever. So we can sit here with this. If you'd like to add a little bit of movement and it feels okay, you can begin to slightly rotate and take little circles with this right foot. Try not to lose integrity or slump over too much. Maybe you lift the block up so you can lift your chest. Rolling that foot. Switch directions if you can. Our left leg might be on fire. And then when you're ready, take our hands right underneath our shoulders, lift our hips up towards the sky. And then our left toes will turn out, right toes turn back in, working our way into our warrior two as we lift up. Relax your shoulders down. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, extended side angle. Left forearm to our left thigh. Again, right fingertips reaching up towards the sky. We'd like to open up that chest. Well, let's try to reach our right fingertips straight up over our shoulder. Maybe rotate those left ribs towards the right side of our mat. Breathe. Option for a bind here if you'd like to take it. Wherever you are, and if you are in this extended side angle with me, let's keep our weight light in our forearm, in our left forearm. Sink your hips low. Maybe shift your gaze towards the sky and try to draw this left thigh bone back into the hip socket so we have a deep crease in this front leg. Sink through your hips. If you're in a bind, you can gently make your way back. And we'll all inhale, reverse. Exhale, come forward. Cartwheel your hands to frame this front foot. All 10 toes face forward. Step your right foot up to meet your left. And we're actually going to take this into steeple pose. If you'd like to take it into malasana, take your feet out wide and then squat low. If you're coming into steeple pose with me, option to use a block, but we're going to take our feet together. So heels are together, toes are apart, and we're going to plie down, lifting our heels, coming up onto our toes, allowing our knees to open up. Now, if you find that you're a little unstable, take that block right behind your heels. Heels can rest on it. This will lift you up. Arms reach up overhead. You can interlace all 10 fingers and bring them back down behind your head. Breathe. and lift through your chest. You'll have another option to do this, so don't worry. Try to really open up those knees towards the side. And then instead of arching our low back, lace the low ribs down and lift up. So like our little squats we did in goddess pose, maybe try to squeeze those inner thighs and lift up. Arms can reach up overhead. Breathe. Shift your gaze up. That's okay. And relax down. Woo. Legs are on fire. Hands can come in front of us as we gently lift our hips towards the sky. Forward fold. Go ahead. Rock from side to side. Shake your hips. Bend your legs. Shift your gaze back behind you. And when you're ready, let's all inhale, slowly roll up to standing. Arms reach up. Exhale, cactus, open your arms, lift your chest towards the sky. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step or hop back. Take a vinyasa, or you can skip it. We'll all meet in a downward facing dog. And you found your downward facing dog. Let's go ahead, step our feet together. Inhale, right leg lifts high. Exhale, step it through right next to your right thumb. Back left knee can come towards the earth. Untuck your toes. Inhale, lift up. High lunge. Breathe, lift up out of your hips, readjust your stance. And then exhale, twist. Left hand comes to the earth or a block. Right fingertips reach up. Again, option to take your right hand to the outside of your right thigh, spinning those low left ribs towards the right side of the room. You can take your gaze behind you or take your gaze down to the earth. Now, if you want to spice up your practice a little bit, left hand is on the floor. Tuck your back left toes, lift this knee. Right hand reaches towards the sky, sink your hips low. All 10 toes can turn towards the right edge. Sink your left heel towards, or left hip, towards the earth. Reach back behind you. So pressing firmly through this front hand on the outer edge of your left foot. Wherever you are, you can come back through this low lunge. Take the knee down towards the earth. Release your hands. Hands come to frame this front right foot. And we'll all tuck our back left toes, lift this knee up off the earth. Turn and pivot so all 10 toes are facing towards the left edge of the mat. And then you can come up onto the ball of your right foot now, shifting open into this little side lunge here. And then again, hands can come to a block. And we want to try to keep a micro bend in our knee. This bottom heel, right heel, can be lifted. It does not have to be flat onto the earth. So you pick your level for the block. Let's try to lift up tall if that feels okay. And then again, trying to keep that micro bend. If you'd like, you can roll your foot, maybe taking a little bit of circles here, very gently, so you don't tweak anything. And if this is a new movement for you, moving slow so you know it's okay for your body. Notice the difference between your left and right side. My left side really doesn't want to move. And then if you would like, you can switch directions with those little toe circles. All right, coming back up to our warrior two, plant your hand, lift your hips. Right toes turn forward, left toes turn in, heel is on the earth. Bend through your right knee. And then we'll all inhale, lift up, warrior two. Breathe. Let's reverse. Inhale, reach forward, reverse your warrior. We'll come back through center, palms touch overhead. Exhale, extended side angle, right forearm to right thigh. Left fingertips reaching forward. Again, rotating those lower ribs. Reaching forward and up, not reaching back. Sinking low, option to take a bind here. And breathe. Rooting down through both feet, back edge of our left foot is rooted onto the earth. We're not dumping all the weight into our right forearm. Gaze can shift towards the sky if that's okay on your neck. Breathe. And binds when you're ready to come back. Go ahead and make your way back to our extended side angle. And we'll inhale up, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame this front foot. Turn on your back toes. Left foot steps forward to meet our right. Option to take a malasana again, or for this one, if not, coming into steeple pose. So our heels are coming together, toes are turning out into that little plie. When you're ready, gently begin to hinge forward, lifting up onto your toes. Knees are coming out wide. Lift through your chest. Maybe you keep the block underneath your heels. Maybe you remove it this time. It's your choice. Let's really try to open those knees in and up. And then when you're ready, you can keep your hands on the block, the floor, maybe bring them to your thighs, or we can reach them up towards the sky. Interlace all 10 fingers, release your index finger. Draw your biceps back by your ears and then pull your shoulders back and down. Lace the low ribs down so you're not creating that arch in your low back. Maybe squeeze those inner thighs together as you lift up like in our pulses. Breathe and lift. You got it. Maybe come back down, hands come to behind our head, and then shift. Right elbow to our right thigh, gaze up towards the left, a little bit of a balance challenge. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, switch sides. Left elbow to left thigh, maybe gaze up towards the sky. Inhale, come back through center. Plant your hands, bring those knees back together as you lift your hips up towards the sky. Option for one last vinyasa, or you can skip it, pressing back into a downward facing dog. We'll all meet in a downward facing dog. All right, still working on those side bends here. If you are in a downward facing dog with me, let's go ahead and bring our knees down towards the earth, coming on down to a seated position. I had a lot of leg work today, but running out of time here. So that'll be for the next one. So we're coming into a Janu Sirsasana. I'm going to bring my right foot into my left inner thigh. So knee is pointing out. And then this is again where the block can come in handy. I'm going to bring it kind of close in here. Let's flex our left toes back towards our face. Inhale, arms reach up over our head. Exhale, twist and hinge over this right leg first. Again, reaching and extending, the same thing we've been working on all class. Pulling our torso over this right knee, sinking down towards the earth. Breathing down our left side body. Left toes are still flexed back towards our face. Inhale, we'll slowly lift up. Coming through center, reaching forward again. Breathing down the back side of our left leg. Now you might feel a deep stretch down your hamstring. Inhale will lift you up. Then this time, coming over to the left side. Let's sweep this right arm up towards the sky. Open up our chest. Again, low ribs spinning out towards the right side. Maybe our left hand is extended. We have like our arms open wide. And then if you'd like, you can begin to find the floor or the block with your left elbow or left hand. Staying lifted here. Right fingertips reaching up towards the sky. And again, I really like to reach back, so trying to draw that right hand in. Breathing down our right side. Option to stay here. I'm going to take the block back under, bending my left elbow, taking my hand to behind my head. My right fingertips are still reaching up, but I'm going to bring them back behind me, interlacing all 10 fingers and really trying to open up my chest, elbows pointing towards the sky. My left elbow still on the block. Really rotating those lower left ribs and sending my breath down my right side body. I have a deep, intense stretch down the right side. Gaze is up towards the sky. Left toes are still actively flexed back. And then when you're ready, release the top right arm. Maybe grab your right knee as you lift yourself up very gently. Right leg comes out, left leg comes in, same thing. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, twist and hinge over this right side. Arms are reaching out in front of you. Right toes are flexed. Take your chin slightly in so you're not really cranking your head back, but still elongating through that cervical spine. Inhale will bring you back up. Walk you through center, and then exhale, fold forward through center again. Deep stretch down our hamstring here. Arms can be lifted or on the floor if it feels okay. We'll inhale, gently lift up. And again, this is where that block can come in handy, bringing it into that inner right leg. I'm going to take my right hand to my inner leg, sweep my left arm up towards the sky, and then begin to hinge over to my right. Again, lower right ribs, trying to rotate, open up. Chest is opening up towards the sky. Honoring each side of your body. So maybe you stay lifted on this right arm. Left finger reaches up. So again, arm might be falling back behind us. Let's try to keep it in line, reaching straight up towards the sky. Breathing down your left side body. Deep, intense stretch here. Maybe you stay here today on this side. Go ahead, grab my block, bring it in. I'm going to bend this right elbow, bringing my hands back behind me, behind my head. And then if you'd like, maybe reaching those left fingertips behind you. Left elbow reaching up towards the sky, again, rotating those lower ribs open. Gaze is lifted, deep, intense stretch down your left side body. Right toes are still flexed back. Bring that wandering mind back into the present moment. Letting go of those outcomes. And just breathe. When you're ready, gently release the top hand, release the bottom one, and hinge yourself up, back up. Very slowly. Let's take our legs out in front of us. Give them a little bit of a wiggle here. And then we'll sweep them around to either side. Coming into a tabletop position. Rock your hips from side to side. Let's take a quick child's pose. Just breathing into that lower back. Forehead can come to a block. Hands can come through heart center or come together, prayer pose, and then you can maybe take those hands behind your back or fingertips to the nape of your neck. Gently release your hands. Lift up that head, keeping the block near. Lifting up into one downward facing dog. We're not taking a vinyasa, I promise. Let's lift our right leg and bring our right knee to our right wrist, right ankle to our left wrist, making our way into pigeon pose. Always option. Turn around and come onto your back here. If you feel like that hip is lifting, we're going to block right underneath your right hip. And inhale, lift through your chest. Exhale, come on down, maybe to your other block, forearms to the block or the floor. And breathe, finding your pigeon pose this morning. It's okay if it's not as deep as usual. Allowing the eyes to relax, gaze to soften, unclench your jaw here. Maybe making your way down to the floor. If you'd like to take a mermaid or a king pigeon today, you can. Mermaids and king pigeons can gently release, coming back down into your pigeon pose. If you're down here with me in our pigeon, let's go ahead, lock our hands underneath our shoulders, lift ourselves up, tuck your back left toes, maybe scoot yourself up a little bit, and then when you're ready, tuck the toes, lift the back leg, shoot this right leg back behind you, shake your leg out. Take the right foot down towards the floor, left side this time. You don't have to swing your left foot up towards the sky. Really try to engage your core. Bring your right knee to your your left knee to your left wrist and left ankle to your right wrist. Scoot this back right leg down behind you. Square everything off. Your shin doesn't have to be completely parallel to the top of your mat. That really hurts my knee, and I'm sure it hurts a lot of other people's knees. So if that hip is still up off the earth today, go ahead, bring the block under there, honoring each left and right side of your body. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hinge. Maybe coming down to a block or your forearms. Lowering down when you feel ready. You don't have to come all the way down to the mat right off the bat. Again, softening through your jaw, softening through your gaze. Coming back to your intention or your thanks or your love. If you're fighting with your wandering thoughts, go ahead and let them wander. Release, and sometimes that's just what we need, to let our mind wander rather than fight it, trying to stay present. If you'd like to lower down, you can, just a little bit more. Or take it into your king pigeon or your mermaid. And then when you're ready, king pigeons and mermaids, make your way back up. We're all going to shift back up. So bringing our hands right underneath our shoulders, lifting ourselves up. Tuck your back right toes. Maybe you shift your hips in forward a little bit. Lift the back knee, and then shoot the left leg back behind us. Give it a little bit of a wiggle. And then come on down. We're going to turn over onto our backs. Bring our knees into our chest here. Give them a nice little squeeze. Maybe roll from side to side. Kick your legs up towards the sky. Give them a little shake. Roll out your ankles. And then when you're ready, gently make your way into your Shavasana. Feet can come out wide. Knees can touch. Hands can be up over your head or out by your side. Wherever you are, begin to soften your gaze again. Unclench your jaw. Soften through your neck and shoulders. Fingertips are gently curling in as you relax your backside body down into the floor or to your mat. The legs are gently shutting off. Maybe feet are falling open. And you just feel a gentle rise and fall of your belly as you let go and gently drift into your Shavasana. You can begin to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, or you can stay in your Shavasana if you have time. I'm going to encourage you to stay here as long as you can. If not, you can begin to windshield wipe your legs, rock your legs, roll your hands, roll your wrists. Let's extend our legs out long, hands come up over our head, reach. And then gently release, roll onto your favorite side, cradling your head in your arm, and then gently press yourself up to your position, your seated position when you're ready. Let's draw our shoulders back over our hips, sit up nice and tall. And we'll inhale, arms reach up overhead, exhale, hands come through heart center, bow towards your fingertips. Again, pressing that right palm into your left, engaging your arms and your shoulders, drop the shoulders down. Return to your intention, your thanks, or your love. If you're still with me, maybe that effortlessness, carrying that out through the rest of your month or into November, letting go of outcomes and enjoying the moments for what they are and appreciating the people around you and just the little moments that we often forget about. Thank you all so much for flowing with me today. It's always an honor, and I will see you next time. Have a great weekend. Namaste. Bye, you guys.